and the men. Okay? So that we will group ourselves. Diaries are not for only girls. When it has to do with emotional intelligence, you see, as for the men, we feel that, oh, we are men, and some things are there we don't do. It's for only girls. No. And because of that, there is a trend, and even though you are young, you can hear about it, that there is enough divorce rate happening to our brothers and sisters. It is because we have been, for some time now, we have been educating our girls. And they seem, okay, now the girls, I would say they seem 70%, and the boys are 10%. So when it comes to emotions, boys, you also have emotions. When you want to cry, you hide and cry. The diaries are equally for you. Don't feel oga and go and make mistake. Let us learn so that as we groom ourselves and grow, one day the narrative will change. It won't just be like we are educating only the girls. And when they grow up, we won't find the men for them. You will say, oh, ladies are more than men, yet you are not getting wives when you grow. It is because of your attitude. Okay? So, please, when it comes to emotions, it's not about it's a girl's thing. No. We are all in it. It's just that Allah has made men stronger when it comes to certain things. And ladies know they can't get there. We won't even rub our shoulders with you, no. There are equally certain things that are for women only. Even that, we still need the guidance of men, our men. So please, diary is not for only ladies. Also try it. And I know as men, when you are using it, you still use it as men, and you will use more quotes. And the way you will speak less is the same way you are going to speak less in the diary. Ask your questions there. There are times that you also want to ask. You see, as African mothers and parents at home, sometimes we even find it difficult to talk about the early morning ejaculations and all that when you are reaching the teenage. And you have questions. There was a day I went to a particular school, then for counseling sessions, then one gentleman asked, it's a whole class, Madam, why is it that when it's 12 o'clock, our something will stand like this? They didn't feel shy because at least I've had that relationship with them. Then when he asked, and this is a gentleman I really respected, and he was able to ask that question, then I saw that there's a question mark somewhere. Then when he asked, then the whole class, yes, madam, when it's 12 o'clock, so I realized it was a general thing. So you know what I did? I went straight to the notice board, what subject they had. I went to the head teacher's office, who is the teacher to this subject. Then I just went to the staff common room. In fact, when I saw the lady, that was a lady, I was like, mashallah, but astaghfirullah. But they couldn't go direct that, this teacher is worrying us emotionally, psychologically, because when she comes to class, we cannot concentrate. So our something standard. But they know I'm a psychologist, so they also did me psycho. You guys, you are very smart. You have a lot of psycho, and we love that. And I also tried to find out. And so, in a nice way, I was able to talk to the teacher, and she changed her dressing. And now, the 12 o'clock, it doesn't stand again. It is normal. So, these are some of the things you can write in your diary if you are feeling shy to ask. So that one day, in programs like this, or in your various schools, now in various schools there are counselors. Ask. Then go and ask your questions. Better still, ask your mothers. Okay? Thank you. Are you okay? Any other last question? Oh, we still have a lot of time. Yes, somebody has a question.
So, sorry.
Walaikum salam.
So, my question is for the vessel and the soul. So, most of the time, our body wants instant satisfaction. We want pleasure. So, I want to ask if the body needs this satisfaction instantly and pleasure, how does it conflict with the needs of our soul?
Should I let you give an example, or I should give an example for you?
Okay, I have an example.
Good.
Okay, so sometimes I have anger issues, but I can't control. And sometimes when I'm angry, there's this feeling like I can't control myself. And I can hit my head on the wall just to like calm myself down.
Feel that satisfaction at that moment.
Yes. So I want to ask, how does it conflict with the needs of our soul? Because sometimes when my mom sees such things, she'll be like, why not pray rather than hurting yourself, using your hands to hit your head, slapping yourself, trying to calm yourself.
Okay, so it does conflict, and the conflict is negative. We have positive conflict and negative conflict. The conflict is not agreeing to agree or not agreeing to disagree. Okay, so at that moment that you are so angry, that sort of anger, you don't even know where your Quran is. But then there's still a way. Okay, you seek guidance. You can be taken through anger control sessions and activities so that it calms down. It is also a stage, and sometimes maybe there is something that is hidden somewhere that triggers it. You will not know, and unconsciously it comes, and it will conflict negatively because when it happens that way and you become so angry, you don't even know where your Quran is, and at that moment, what blessing are you getting? That is the negative conflict here. But if it happens in such a way that at that moment you are searching for a surah, a kira to listen to, it's a positive conflict. Before you realize, it calms you down. Sometimes it happens to we mothers in the house. Sometimes it is not you who is making us angry. Maybe it's your father's or from the workplace. Then we call something transference. When we come and you do something, then you collect sound. Or you've not been collecting sound. Me, my house, they've been collecting sound. I will put you with my hand. I will head you. I will blows you. Am I not an African mother? So your anger cry is not sharing like your mother's own, but then she has found a way to be able to use that positive conflict. That is why sometimes you will hear her listen to a lot of Kira recitations. So please, I think when you go for that, at that moment you can't even open your, like you are shivering. I can just imagine that kind of this thing you are talking about. But try. After that, see me, okay? Yes, so that you try to out of it. You are a woman. You don't need it. You will grow up. You will marry. Control it. When you marry, you beat your husband. And it is haram to beat a man. You will hurt him cry because may Allah make it easy. Okay? Good.
Scenarios whereby you are stressed from school and now that you are going or as Maghrib all together. Rather, you go and sleep, say, okay, let me sleep for some 30 minutes. What about that?
What if you die that 30 minutes? Assembly yourself. Make it a point. Now, another assignment. When we go back, let us reassess ourselves. Let us meditate. What were we doing that we are not sure of? Go and sleep for 30 minutes, he said. Oh, you are young. You will not die. And you know as Muslims, they have taught us that the next minute is not for us. So for me, sometimes when I'm working, I don't even get tired until I go to bed. Then I feel that I'm tired. And interestingly, when you wake up, you are okay because you are waking up to do a less work. So Allah will strengthen you. So please, don't go and sleep and deceive yourself. That is why I said, as for this stage, teen stage, adolescent stage, you feel you are smart, and you want to even trick God. You want to be like Nabi Idris, or who? Which of them, the Muallims? Which of them told the angel that, oh, let me go and see hell small. After that, I'll go and see heaven small. When he went and saw heaven, he said, oh, who was that? So that's your assignment for it. There's a TV channel called Religion TV. Go and listen to the stories of the surahs. Why the surahs were given. Okay, those of us who cannot read Arabic, so that you understand. And he tricked God and it worked. It's okay to trick your curiosity. But when we see that trick works, that's what we are trying to bring you. And when we are trying to bring them, African mother style comes in sound, you go collect. Now, Mwalima wanted to ask them. Wa alaikum salam.
Please, I have two questions. Number one.
Nobody should look at her.
Hello?
The ladies, look in front.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I have two questions, please. The first question is, for us as teenagers, the Gen Zs, knowing that we are in the era where information is at our fingertips, we have the phones, we have internet, we can access every information we want, and here are our parents who maybe are not even educated. Is it a thing of the past that we listen to their good counsel, or it is still relevant to do so? That is my first question. Second question is, how would you help our young ones to be able to identify if they should be having anxiety disorders? I mean, how it starts. Is there any tip-off you can give us, inshallah?
Thank you very much. Now, let me begin with the anxiety disorders. One thing with adolescents that brings anxiety disorder is they're trying to be lonely. They want to be alone and not wanting to eat. These are signs of anxiety. They don't want to eat. They feel they are okay. Some who have anger issues easily becomes angry. Some whose temperaments are on the low becomes extraordinarily calm. And so, with this question and with the little I've given, let's watch out for each other at home, at school, wherever we find ourselves, in the mosque. As I said, you go back to school, you form GymSAC groups or you join GymSAC groups. Who is it that you identify that is always quiet, or somebody who is jovial and all of a sudden the person shies away and tries to quell back? Be a peer helper. A peer helper is one who identifies a colleague in such a situation, then you are able to talk to that colleague calmly and respectfully to come to terms with you. I hope this makes sense. Now, coming in terms with it and going back, Sankofa Yenchi. Now, in my counseling profession, we call something multicultural. As we all sit here, we are from different cultures and we are here together as one people for the sake of Islam. In our cultures, we have different values and different norms. And some of the cultures are similar. let's take greetings. In some cultures, before you greet an elderly person, as a girl, you have to bow a little. Or you even go down. Ansuma, my dear. Do you get it? That's bad. In some cultures, they stand. It doesn't matter. Then the man goes like this, or also goes like this. In some cultures. If you are that type who is from that culture, and you have to do that to your mother and your father every morning to say, Salamu alaikum. And you stand there like Paul, that means it's a sign of disrespect. And so she is asking for your sake. We are a few mothers here. And we cannot even let go what we also learned from our mothers and our mothers' mothers. We still try to instill in you. However, you will start mentioning big words to us. Gen Z, ZZZ, that. Please. When we are trying to still use the colloquial way of guiding you, accept it. I'm using colloquial because you will see it to be collo. Because you feel that you are now 21st century. You are still from somewhere. You have a home. When you trace to your village, there is one building there. And my father used to say one thing. That is where your placenta is. And there's nothing you can do about it. So please, with all due respect, we understand you are in the 21st century, but we can never do away with culture. What is the definition of culture? A group of people who perform the same actions, speaks the same language, eat the same food. So, you feel that you have left Nampoye and you are in Accra and you cannot eat kola and sepase the same. Yes, I said, and you cannot eat TZ and bean leaf soup. Unless Indomie. Lie. Then your stomach will now be kusu. You can't even, excuse me to say, pass out gas and be free. But when you eat cola and sepase the same, you will free yourself and you'll be free and your stomach will be fine. So, sankofa yenchi. So when you see your parents, it's like, oh, as for my mother, she has a PhD, but she will still go and bring Nangoyetans and be, yes, that is where my placenta is buried, and that is culture, and we cannot run away from culture. Thank you very much. If you have more questions, I am around. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Oh, last question. Okay, last question. Thank you. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Why do some Muslim girls dress modestly when they are at an Islamic gathering or during Salah, but dress differently when they are elsewhere?
It is because of lack of education. But today we have been educated, and we will not repeat that again, sister. Are we promising our sister? She is worried. We didn't know. We don't know. We didn't know that we will groom ourselves, or we are supposed to groom our vessels and our souls. And sometimes we even talk about only the vessel grooming. Now, today we have added the soul one. Okay? And it has to go together. They are compatible. The two moves together. You cannot groom your vessel and will not groom your soul. And sometimes what it happens is they are trying to groom their body outside, yet their souls are not groomed. And when somebody's soul is not groomed, it is very difficult to come in terms with what is right. So my dear sister, that is why. But today we have learned something, and I believe that after be unique. That's why I intentionally use school. Sometimes, you know what? It is we ourselves our fault. We have to know, Papa. Yes. And sometimes some of those things, that is what? Discipline. They say when you go to Rome, do what Romans do. You think they who are not Muslims, they are not supposed to cover well per their scripture? That's why I just use that scenario. You go to Form 1, you are dressing well. Is that not so? Then your uniform and your senior uniform, is it the same? Is your senior's uniform not shorter than yours? It isn't because he has gone to Form 2 and she has grown taller. Or no. Her share level have it. Do you get it? Nobody. So please, let us take that mentality of that somebody is forcing you. No, nobody is forcing you. It is you. Be unique. Do it in such a way that when you even miss your prayer, your non-Muslim friend will say, oh, what's your name? Hasia, please, have you said your prayer? That is uniqueness. But if you are not doing anything that is necessity to that, how will they ask? Nobody will respect you. It is not anybody, it is us. But you know what I'm talking about. Let's do what is right, what we are able to do, what we are capable of, and leave the others. Just be unique, irrespective of how difficult it is. Try to do the right thing and choose right. Is it compulsory to go there?
Okay. Sorry?
Thank you very much, Dr. Mrs. Seki. Remember, you are a representation of Islam to the whole world. So shine right and be positive. Don't forget to get your diaries and start writing in your diary.
Exactly. Keeping a diary is a simple yet powerful way to grow. And speaking of growth, our next session is going to be about growing our relationship with Allah and making worship meaningful. Help me welcome a lecturer at the University of Ghana, at the Islamic University Ghana, Madam Kelthar Hamis. Please, a round of applause for her.
The co-founder of Darud-Din Islamic Center. She is married and blessed with 2 daughters. She is currently a PhD candidate on the Medina Project, affiliated with the University of Ghana, Legon, and Leiden University, Netherlands. She attended Ghana Lebanon Islamic Senior High School and obtained her bachelor's degree in history and study of religions from the University of Ghana. She later earned a master's degree in study of religions, specifically the Islamic studies option from the same institution. Her doctoral research focuses on religious coexistence, gender, and beauty practices within the religiously pluralistic community of Medina in Accra, Ghana. With a round of applause, let's welcome Ms. Kelthar Hamis, speaking on the topic From Ritual to Relationship, Making Worship Meaningful.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It's the first time I'm introducing myself like this. I always prefer not to be known, to be in the background, and just do everything normally. But when I was asked to send an introduction, I just sent something small. And Mudir Aisha said, please add more so that we can inspire the children. And so this is an inspiration, but nothing else. We believe that you can do better than us. Don't you believe that? Yes, we believe that you can even do more. And that is why you are seeing all these kind of descriptions. And normally, I just don't like it. But for your sake, we are doing it. And you know why we are all here? We are all here because of you, and all of you. Some years back, I had a discussion with our Mudira. And it's that when most of you go to the secondary schools, then you tend to forget about madrasa. You tend to forget about continuing with getting to know your Lord. And so we thought that we should find a way of bringing you back. Because if you really want to succeed as a Muslim, please, you have to hold on to your Islam.
If you really want to get the dunya and the ahirah, you have to know your Islam. You have to know your Allah. And so that is why we want to discuss rituals to relationship today. Do you all have phones with you? Yes. Let me see by hands how many of you have smartphones with you. Oh, good, a very good number, mashallah. So we are doing an exercise. I teach, so I am going to teach here like that. So we are all going to learn, and I'm ready to also learn from you. So don't just think that because I am standing up here, I have all the knowledge. I am ready to also learn from you. And so this morning, we are going to talk about from rituals to relationship. Since yesterday, a lot has been discussed. Everybody came here, and we are all concerned about you. But for this morning, we are just going to talk about how we can turn our rituals to relationships. So please, for those of you who have phones, let's just get going. Let's try to find out, before we even try to find out what rituals are. This is what happens to me when I teach. Sometimes I don't follow my slides. Because I want my presentation to be as interactive as possible. But before we use the phones, I want to tell you a beautiful story. A beautiful story about how we were created. Because we are asking ourselves, who are we? Where do we come from? And when you check Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah 30 to 39, you realize that Allah was engaging in a with the angels when he intended to create the first human being, Prophet Adam alayhi salam. And Allah told the angels, this is what I want to do. I want to create my own representatives on earth. So Allah says he is creating Halifas on earth. So we are all Halifas here. Do we believe that? Do we believe that we are Allah's representatives? Said the Pepe for tag. People look at us and they discriminate us. But how are we carrying ourselves? Are we indeed Allah's Halifas? Are we Allah's representatives? Are we representing Allah well? And let me tell you, some Muslims are doing it very well. I attended a breakfast meeting in one of the very big hotels. You know what the Christians, because all the Muslims they have worked with, who are at the finance side, who are within the accounting session, are performing very well. And they think that there's something about the Islamic religion that is influencing them to do that. Don't you think that? So this was coming from Christians. So yes, the people tag is there. But we also have representatives of Allah who are doing a very good to be part of these Halifas of Allah who will be doing very good job for Islam. So the Christians themselves said it, that they think they just trust leaving that side of their company in the hands of Muslims. Isn't this a plus? This is a plus. So yes, the Pepe folk tag could be there. And let me tell you, we still have companies and homes who will still rely on watchmen instead of security men. What is the magic? Big homes, residential homes, security. When you read back into the history of Islam, it tells you how some Quran to protect the house of their masters, to protect their families, and to protect the house from any kind of armed robbery attack. So we still have people who believe in the reality of having a watchman than a security. And is this not a plus for people? So we have a lot to show to the world. We have a lot.
But yes, can we move to the next slide? Now that Allah created Adam and he gave him that gift of knowledge and all that, and he was taught the names of the things in the heavens, and Allah brought Adam out and asked the angels to give him the names, and the angels put it. Then Allah asked Adam, and Adam did that. And Allah told the angels, didn't I tell you that I know? For us as human beings, Allah has empowered us. And He's empowering us with knowledge. And this knowledge should not sit with us. It should be given out. Now, we should also be aware of our historical enemy, who is Iblis, Shaitan. He objected. He gave all the names of the things around belief. Now, you also realize after Iblis refused to obey to Allah's command, Allah let Adam and Hawa in the garden. Iblis came back again. Can we move to the next slide, please? He came back again and deceived them. You see how we are as human beings. Allah shows us a lot of love. He gives us all that we want, and then we still digress. We deviate. We transgress. And then what happens? Just come to me because you went without empowering your knowledge. You cannot worship without empowering assignment. So that would also be one of my assignments, because all the descriptions and the characteristics of Allah are captured in His mighty name. And pay attention. We want to hear the deep voice. It's been all so. Yes, somebody should speak. Brotherhood will not be happy with you. Yes, okay, my brother. Yeah, please. Can you give him the mic? You also have a definition. So when he's done.
Okay. So in simple terms, a ritual is something people do. Religious rituals, that's prayers, fasting, communion.
Okay, communion. Then it means that we also have an example. Then there's also, you also want to read your definitions. The microphone forward. Its own rituals. But within this discussion, we are just concentrating on religious rituals, and specifically the Islamic rituals. And I tell my students, rituals are just like the life of religion. It is just like putting religion into practice. Once you put religion into practice, then you are performing a ritual. But you see, we want to make sure that all the rituals we perform are not just rituals, but they are actions that are connecting us. And so, can you give me examples of rituals as Muslims, Muslim rituals? Can you give me examples? Yes, my dear. And so, we are saying that as Muslims, when we do these rituals, I know that you've all felt like, you felt this before. Oh, let me go and do this